Hello guys, I wanted to make this video so that we can play our positions better. I've noticed that some of us don't quite understand the importance of being in your position and maybe don't understand what the range of your position is. So instead of going over that during practice, I wanted to make this video so that we could keep our practice active, and then I'm gonna have you guys watch this video on your own, and hopefully this will help everybody understand and to have us work better as a team so that we could win some games. So to start, the right forward position, we got this yellow oval. This is the general zone that the right forward is going to cover. So ideally at the beginning when you start, you're going to be right there on the line, and if we're starting with the ball, you'll run forward and hopefully get a pass. Say the ball is way over here on the other side of the field. Our right forward can get all the way over here, cover the space that's here, so that if our defense gets control of the ball again, they can pass it. Maybe they'll pass it up the line, and then a midfielder can start taking it, pass it into the center, and you could start running this way and hopefully receive a pass. So this is the zone for the right forward. Next, the left forward. Same thing basically. Left forward is going to play anywhere in this zone, and depending on where the ball is where you're going to be in that zone. So say the ball's all the way over here, for example. Say we got control of the ball all the way over here. Left forward, you're going to be up in here to hopefully receive a pass and shoot a goal. And it would be the same with the right. If you're right forward and the ball is being over here, then right forward should be up here in the box, trying to receive a pass and then score a goal. So that's right and left forward. Again, left forward, same here with here. If the other team has the ball and it's way down here, our left forward should be covering the space over here. Just in case we gain control of that ball again, we could boot it far downfield. Or more ideally, pass it up to our center, our midfielders over here, and then they can switch the ball. So left mid, this is the left mid zone. The midfielders have to cover the most ground. So I know everybody wants to play forward and mid. Forwards also cover a lot of space. So you have to be able to run if you're going to do these positions. Well, every position in soccer you have to run, but midfielders the most running. So as a left midfielder, let's say the ball is up here. We're attacking at the top of the screen here. Our left midfielder, we don't want to see them get sucked in all the way over here chasing the ball. We want them up level with the ball, but they need to still be on the left side of the field so that if our forwards get a hold of the ball, they could pass it. They could pass it across the field and boom, hopefully score a goal. So left mid, this is your zone. On defense, if the ball is down here, the other team has it, our left midfielder needs to be in on this play. But also, if the ball's way over here, we can't have our left midfielder getting sucked way out of their position, because what'll happen is the other team might pass the ball all the way over here to a player who's wide open, and then they score a goal. So our left midfielder needs to stay over here on the left side of the field and cover anybody who might be open. In general, if you're a left midfielder, you don't cross the halfway mark. You stay on the left side of the field, so you could be anywhere in this side. Center midfielder. So center mid, this is the position with generally the most running. You got the most field to cover. Our center mid's job is to stay where the ball is. So if the ball is over here, if we're defending down lower here, our center mid needs to be down here playing defense, covering any other player, any of the other team who might be coming down the center here. because if they try to pass it to the middle, we don't want the other team to get control of the ball and get an open shot. And same with on offense. If we are controlling the ball, say it's over here, our center midfielder should be somewhere in the box, ready to receive a pass. If our center midfielder is getting sucked way over here, chasing the ball, there might not be anybody to pass to in the middle, and we can't score a goal that way. So stay in your part of the field. Ideally, the center midfielder should float around the center and receive passes. So a good center midfielder stays around the center. They need to have good ball control. They need to receive a pass, and if they have a little space, they can dribble a little. If there's not any space, if defenders are closing in on them quick, they need to pass that ball back out. So boom, they might stand here, they might receive a pass, and then they can distribute it. They could pass it this way, they could pass it that way. Right midfielders. So right is going to be the same deal as the left, but just on the right side of the field. So again, if the ball is way over here and we're defending this goal, our right midfielder should be playing defense around here, should find somebody to cover in the middle to make sure they don't get any open shots on our goalie. And say the ball's up here and we have control of it, our right midfielder needs to be somewhere over here to receive a pass. They could get in the box. It's okay every once in a while, you don't have to stay strictly to this oval. You can kind of get out of it a little bit, but for the most part you want to stay in it, depending on where the ball is. If the ball is in somewhere in the center of the field, our right midfielder needs to be level with it over here. And another thing about the right and the left midfielders, it's very important to spread the field out. So what I mean by that is say our goalie gets the ball and they're going to do a goal kick. We want to go all the way out here to the sideline, because that pulls the other team's defense apart instead of getting clumped up in the middle where they could easily steal it. And that way our goalie, they can pass the ball to a defender, and then the defender could pass it up the sideline, and then our midfielder could run up the sideline as much as they can get before the defense closes in and pass it to the middle, where hopefully our forwards or our center midfielder will be. So it's important to stay in your zone. I think we'll do a lot better and we'll start winning some games if we can stay in our zone. All right, now, very important, our defense. This is the most important, to stay in our zone. So as a right defender, your job is to cover this portion of the field. So if we have control of the ball and it's anywhere up here, as a defender, we don't want to be stuck way back here because it leaves a huge open area in the middle of the field. You want to be up here. Go to about the halfway mark. Okay? And if we're on defense, if it's in your zone, you're fighting for the ball. If it's on the opposite side of the field, then you come in here and fill in the box so that we want to prevent the other team from passing it into the middle and then getting an open shot. So if there's anybody over here, you cover them. If one of their forwards is kind of floating way over here, you gotta stick on them. Make sure they don't get the ball. Same with left defender. I'll do left first. So left defender is going to be in there. If the ball's over here, we need to have our left fielder covering anybody who might be in their zone. And if nobody's there, they can float right into the middle here. And again, if the ball's way up here and we have control of it, our defender can hang out at about the halfway mark, somewhere in their zone over here. And we just want to cover that space, because say the other team gets the ball, say they're playing good defense, and a lot of times they'll just boot it, and the ball's going to end up somewhere over here. You might be the closest one to it, so you could go over there and give it a kick. Or our right defender would probably be the closest in that case. If it was over here and it got booted into your area, you can, if you can win the ball, you could go outside of your area a little bit, but for for the most part, you need to be hanging out here when the ball's anywhere on the other side. Alright, and last one, center defense. So center defender is just covering the center, and again, if the ball's on this side of the field and we're in control of it, our center defender can go way up here and cover any of this space, so if that ball comes out, they can get hold of it. If we're playing defense, the center defender needs to be back here. If it's over here, they're covering. We'll have the left defender actually on the ball, but the center defender is going to be covering anybody who might be in this zone, and vice versa. If it's on this side, they're going to be over here. Alright, I hope that makes sense and will help us to stay in our positions. So I'll just go through it one more time real quick just to show the zones. So right forward, left mid, center mid, right defender, center defender, and left defender. Remember your zones and stay in your zones. It's very tempting, I know, as say if you're a right midfielder, if you get caught way over here on the left side of the field and the other team gets the ball and then passes it over to here, there's not going to be anybody. This is your responsibility. You got to cover this side of the field, so don't get caught way over on the opposite side of the field. You never cross this halfway point. If you're a right midfielder or a left midfielder, you don't cross this halfway point. Alright guys, I hope this helps us, and I hope we get the win next week. Alright, thanks guys, I'll see you at practice.